Hey guys, it's Emma. Today we're going to talk about Rosa Parks and her role as a civil rights leader. Rosa Parks was born in Alabama in 1913. She moved to Montgomery, the capital, at age 11. She wasn't able to finish high school because she had to take care of her mother and her grandmother, who were sick. When she was 19 years old, she married Raymond Parks, who was a member of the NAACP, which is the National Association for the Advancement of Colored People, and he helped her to get her high school diploma. While she was working as a seamstress in Montgomery, she became very frustrated with her city's Jim Crow laws, which were, for example, African Americans could only attend certain schools, could only drink from certain water fountains, could get books only from the Black Library, and other things. So in 1943, she joined the NAACP and became the Montgomery chapter secretary. Now we're going to talk about the famous bus incident. On Thursday, December 1st, 1955, Rosa was commuting home from a long day of work when she got on the bus. In Alabama, segregation was written into the law, so the front of the bus was reserved for white travelers and the back for black travelers, even though many more African Americans rode the buses. At some point along the route, all the seats in the white section were taken, so the bus driver asked the four riders in the first row of the black section to get up, essentially adding another row to the white section. The other three got up, but Rosa refused. Eventually, two police officers showed up and arrested her for not giving up her seat. Word of her arrest spread very quickly, and she was released on bail later that day. That night at her home, along with E.D. Nixon, Montgomery NCAA's chapter leader, it was decided that on the day of Rosa's trial, blacks throughout the city would boycott the city's bus system to stand in solidarity with her, and the word went out very quickly. 4 days later, on December 5th, she was found guilty of violating segregation laws and fined. Participation in the boycotts were even larger than expected, and to take advantage of the momentum, Nixon started the Montgomery Improvement Association to manage the Montgomery boycotts and appointed a young Martin Luther King Jr. as its president. The boycotts continued and even faced some violence from white supremacists, but they were brave and continued despite the pushback. Montgomery was in news headlines all over the world. On November 13, 1956, the Supreme Court ruled that bus segregation was unconstitutional, and the boycott ended December 20th, a day after the court's written order arrived in Montgomery. After all this, Rosa Parks became known as the mother of the civil rights movement. Her and her husband moved to Detroit, Michigan, where she became an administrative aide in the office of Congressman John Conyers, Jr. in 1965. In 1999, she was awarded the Congressional Gold Medal, the highest honor the United States bestows on a civilian. Rosa Parks shows that even though she was only one person, and what she did on that bus may have seemed like a small thing in the moment, her strength and bravery in the face of injustice shows how one person can have a huge impact on the world.